really, there's two experiences that continue to affect me to this day. So I had a face-to-face with a suicide bomber when I was coming back from a mission. I was a gunner in my Humvee, and it got to a point where this guy is like 2 to 5 feet away from me, and he was so close. I had to pick up my M4, like lean over all of my protective, the gunner's plates, in order to engage him directly, like straight into it. And that's the only option that I had. And I remember, like, my brain was like, "Oh, that's a horrible idea. Like, just drop down. It's like what it is. It's going to be. It is what it is, basically, at that point." And then I felt this anger unlike anything I've ever experienced, and that anger drove me to pick up that rifle, lean over, and engage him. So I engaged him. I got us just enough time to pass him. Like, we passed him, and he was about 10 feet behind us when he ended up detonating. Like, as our eyes were locked. I'm pretty sure there's a video, there's Al Qaeda propaganda video of that. So I'm pretty sure people who were recording it are the ones that detonated remotely, like their backup system. But anger in that moment saved my life. Unfortunately, it never left me. It like, I would get triggered, and then once I'm past that breaking point, that anger comes out, and it would come out over and over and over around my loved ones. And slowly it started to create a divide and friction in my relationship with my wife and in my children. So I'd say for the first 5 years while I was struggling with that, that's before I was married, while my kids were little, I just was not aware of anything that's going on with me. And then once, like, my son started to get older, and that anger started to come out, I was like, yeah, there's something there. But then I was in, like, just in denial. It's like, it's just gonna take care of itself. So slowly my life got worse, just a little bit every day. And before I knew it, I was at this rock bottom, and my wake-up call was one day I noticed that anger that I had in my kids and the way they would treat each other. There was a little more that happened to it. I went back to Iraq. I got exposed to another explosion, and when I went back to Iraq, I just basically unzipped everything that wasn't processed, just came flooding out. And that combination with seeing that anger in my kids, I was just like, I need to do something about it. I was broken. I was lost, and like, they were going to try and push me out of the army, like medically retire me. So I went and I asked for help. And in 2015, 10 years to the day, almost to the day from when I got back from my first deployment, is when I started to get help, and I started to see therapy. I got medication, and I slowly started to recover. But I was ignorant, and I was in denial. And then I was also afraid of the stigma that's associated with mental health treatment. So those three things is what almost cost me a lot of things, but fortunately they didn't.